So once again, I welcome you all to this lecture series on basic electronics. This is lecture number 4, and today in this lecture we are going to have discussion on the few more derivations with respect to half-wave rectifier. Now in the last few classes we sort of try to understand the operation of half-wave rectifier, and then we try to understand how exactly the waveforms of my half-wave rectifier looks, and we came to the conclusion that the outcome of my half-wave rectifier is not a pure DC, rather it's a pulsating DC. Now if that is a scenario, I need to be converting that pulsating DC to a constant value or a constant output voltage, and that's where my rectification process will be finally completed. Now that somehow we are going to do it in the subsequent classes, but right now we'll continue with our derivation aspects, wherein we want to understand what are the different currents and voltages that are available in my half-wave rectifiers and how do they behave and how we are going to represent them. So that's all we are going to discuss. So in the last class, we tried to understand, or we obtained some of the value, and we said that IL can be represented as Im sine omega t in the duration 0 to pi. So basically from 0 to pi duration, my load current will be having a value of Im sine omega t. Now we also try to obtain the DC or the average load current value as Im by pi, and Im happens to be the peak current or the maximum current of my sinusoidal output voltage. Like if I say this is my input, my output would be something like this. So this is my Im or Vm. If I talk in terms of current, it will be Im. If I talk in terms of voltage, it will be Vm. So now let's try to understand some new terms over here, which we call it as RMS value of load current, that we call it as IRMS. Now before actually we proceed with IRMS or RMS value of load current, which is represented by IRMS, now we should be very clear in why this particular term, why we are going to talk about this IRMS, what is the necessity of talking about this particular root mean square velocity value. So basically all these things we are going to understand in this particular lecture. Now basically if I talk in terms of RMS value or root mean square, so let me just try to give some glimpse about why we call it as a root mean square. And can anyone tell me the difference between mean and average, or are they same? What do you think? Mean and average, are they same or are they not?
No, sir.
You might be feeling sleepy, but bear with me. I'm not going to make you feel bored. Fine, I got one answer. They are not the same. If they are not the same, then can you tell me what exactly mean? I mean, mean and average means. So basically, I'll just tell you. Average is that quantity, or basically we talk about average when we are using some arithmetic numbers or arithmetic quantities, or whenever we are dealing with some particular numbers, or we are going to when we are dealing with some quantifiable numbers, wherein I take the average. Like how I take, if I take, there are three numbers, I take addition of the three numbers divided by number of terms, so this will be my average. So that will be my 3 plus 3 6, 6 by 3 is 2, so this is my average. Now if for example, one more thing with respect to average, like for example, let's say person A has two chocolates, B has three chocolates, C has four chocolates, D has five chocolates. If I ask you to calculate the average number of chocolates that each person are having, A, B, C, D, it is very easy. You just add 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 divided by 4, and that's how you do it. Now let's say I'll say that if the person living in, or the people living in Haliar, or the students living in Haliar are having two chocolates, the students living in Dharwad are having three chocolates, and the students living in Hubli are having four chocolates, and the students living in Belgaum are having five chocolates. Now, if I ask you what would be the average number of chocolates that each person or each students are having, now here the usage of the term average should not be used, because the distribution of the chocolates is not based on particular person, but rather it is based on the geographical location. So basically, the intention is, when I am talking in terms of distribution of particular variables in different places, or distribution of particular items with respect to different localities. So in that point of time, whatever the average I'm going to calculate, that average is termed as mean. That is mean distribution of chocolates at different places. We are going to call it this way. We're not going to call it as average distribution of the chocolates. But if I just have all the four people in a same locality and I can easily quantify them, I say what is the average number of chocolates that each persons are having. So this is basically the difference. Now, why we are calling it as a root mean square and not root average square? I'll just talk about that in a couple of minutes when I draw a waveform. Now let's consider the sinusoidal waveform. Now, if I say, or if I consider a direct voltage or a direct current, DC voltage, 5 volts, and let's say this is also is having a 5 volts. I'll just draw this plus 5 minus 5. And if I ask you, this is at a time t1, at a time t2, at time t3, at a time t4. So at different instance of time, my voltage is constantly maintained at 5 volts. Or if I consider this way, at a time t1, t2, t3, t4, my current is varying something like this: 3, 4, right? At 0th time, the current is 2. At time t1, current is 4. At time t2, current is 3. At time t3, current is 5. At time t4, current is 2. Now, if I ask you to calculate the average of the currents that are there in the figure number 1 and figure number 2, you could easily calculate it. How you can calculate? See, in the first figure, at T1 current is 5, at T2 current is 5, at T3 current is 5, at T4 current is 5, and even at T0 current is 5. If I ask you to calculate the average, 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5, altogether it will be 25 divided by 5, that will be 5. Average is 5, and that can be clearly visible also. ನನಗೆ average calculate ಮಾಡೋದು ಏನು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಅಂತ difficult ಆಗಲಿಲ್ಲ. Again, if I consider the figure number 2, if I ask you to calculate the average, so you just keep on observing the number of current or the value of the current at different instant of time. At time 0, current is 2, t1 4, t2 3, t3 5, t4 2. So just add all of them. 2 plus 4, 6, 6 plus 3, 9, 9 plus 5, 14, 14 plus 2, 16 divided by 5, somewhere around 3 point something, 3.2, right? So this is my average current. Now, if I give you figure number 3, that is a sinusoidal waveform. Now, if I ask you to calculate the average current, that is at time t equal to 0, t equal to 1, t equal to 2, t equal to 3. Now, if I ask you to calculate the average current, that is, or average voltage, let me take the current only. Average current of this particular sinusoidal waveform, or the sinusoidal current. The current is an AC current. It's an alternating current. And now, if I ask you to calculate the current, average current, so what would be your answer? At time t equal to 0, it is 0. At time, let's consider t1 as somewhere over here, and t2 here, and t3 here. This is t4, this will be t5, and this is t6. At time 0, current is 0. At time t1, current is 5. At time t2, again it is 0. At time t3, This is minus 5, sorry. So this is minus 5. At T4, again 0. At T5, it is plus 5. At T6, again it is 0. And since I'm considering two positive peaks, let me consider one more positive peak over here. So at T time T7, it will be minus 5. So ಎಷ್ಟು ಸರ್ತಿ ನಾನು ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿನ ಅಷ್ಟು ದಿನ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿನ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. So if I do this and if I calculate the average, how many time instants I have taken? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all divided by 7. What would be your answer? Your answer would be straightforward 0, because 5 minus 5 plus 5 minus 5, everything will cancel out and our output will be 0. So which means mathematically I am telling that there is a sinusoidal waveform, but the average value is 0. And one waveform ಐತಿ, I can see it, I can see the waveform in front of me, it is visible, but mathematics says that average current 0 ಅದ. ಅಂದ್ರೇನು current ಕಣ್ಣಿಗೆ ಕಾಣ್ಲಿಕ್ತೈತಿ, but current value 0 ಅದ. How it could be possible? Of course it is not possible. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಐತಿ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ವೇವ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ನ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತೋರಿಸ್ಬಿಟ್ಟೆನೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಇದ್ರ average value 0 ಹೆಂಗ್ ಬರುತ್ತಾ? That is coming because you are taking once the positive side, once the negative side, once the positive side, once the negative side. ನೀವು ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇಂಟರ್ಮೀಡಿಯೇಟ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂನು ತಗೋರಿ, ಎಷ್ಟು ಇಂಟರ್ಮೀಡಿಯೇಟ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ನ ತಗೊಂತೀರಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಇಂಟರ್ಮೀಡಿಯೇಟ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ನಾಗೂ ಬರ್ತದೆ. So ultimately end of the day your average is going to be 0, but that's not true, right? It has got some average content, it has got some average value over a period of time. I cannot say that the average value of this sinusoidal current is 0. Hence, to avoid this mathematical issue that what we are getting, what we do is we'll consider something called as root mean square. Mean, why? Because the values are distributed according to the waveform. It is not fixed. How is the distribution of value in this region? How is the distribution of the value in this region? How is the distribution is happening in this region? I'm talking in terms of region wise distribution. Hence mean is coming into picture. I'm not talking unlike the way how I told over here. At T1 5 pakka 5 value ne ada, like at T1 pakka 4 ada, il hanga anak barangilla. At different instants of time it is distributed according to the way how the waveform is moving. Since distribution is coming, I am considering mean. Now why this root and square? That is to avoid the mathematical problem that I just quoted now. Let me tell you how I am going to do that. ಇದೇ equation na ಅಥವಾ ಇದೇ ನಾನು averaging na ನಾನು if I try to apply the concept of root mean square, mean is nothing but kind of average only. ನಾನು average ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, but ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾಕೆ mean ಅಂತ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ distribution is happening depending on the nature of the waveform. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು mean ಅಂತ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಮತ್ತೊಂದೇನಿಲ್ಲ. ಮಾಡೋದು ನಾನು average ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀನಿ, ಹೆಸರು ಮಾತ್ರ I give it a different way. Now the question is, what for you are doing root and square? Let me tell you. If I consider this one, 0 square plus pi square plus 0 square plus of minus square, ಏನೇನು values ಇದ್ದಲ್ಲ ಅದನ್ನೇ ನಾನು ರಿಪೀಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, but now I am applying the formula of squaring and taking the root, and then plus 0 square plus pi square plus minus 5 whole square, whole divided by. Now again you may ask, if I take the square, is it not you are altering the original value? ಹೌದು, ನಾನು alter ಮಾಡ್ದಂಗೆ ಆಯ್ತು ಈಗ ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ. Hence to avoid that what I'll do, I'll take the square root, which means ignore here 5 square ಅಂತ ಬರೆದ್ರೆ 25 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅಂಡರ್ ರೂಟ್ ಆಫ್ 5 square ಅಂತ ಬರೆದ್ರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಈ ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ರೂಟ್ ಮತ್ತು ಇದು ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸಲ್ ಆಗಿ 5 ನೇ ಉಳಿತದೆ. So that is the basic funda. The funda is these squares are just to ensure these negative terms are getting converted to positive. ಈಗ minus 5 square ಏನಾಯ್ತು, plus 25, 5 square root 25 minus 5 square root 25, which otherwise would have been plus 5 minus 5 would have resulted into 0 value. ಈಗ ಹಂಗಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, 5 square value 25 ಬಂತು, minus 5 square value 25 ಬಂತು. And because you have used the square term, in order to avoid or in order to nullify the impact of the square term, I took this square root term. So this is basically the idea behind using this root mean square term. So it is ensuring to have that whatever the average content of the sinusoidal waveform which I am getting as 0, now I am not getting a 0. I am getting some number, some finite value. So this is how root mean square is being calculated. Now, why we do this? We do this because when I talk of any DC component, let's say this is IDC, this is IAC. Now I want to ensure that whatever the work that this current is doing, the same amount of current my AC signal also should do. That is my intention. Now, in order to identify what is the amount of work that this DC current does and what is the amount of work that AC current does, I do this, I need to converting this entire sinusoidal waveform to some finite value. And in order to do that, what I did root mean square. Because of doing that root mean square, this entire stuff became a positive finite value, and my DC current is also a positive finite value. And if I do that, my entire IDC and IAC will be having a finite value. So that will mean the RMS is a mathematical quantity which is used for comparing both alternating and direct currents, or both alternating and direct signals. Or in other words, I can say RMS value of AC is the direct current which, when passed through a resistor for a given period of time, would produce the same heat as that produced by alternating current when passed through the same resistor, or the direct current when passed through the same resistor. So basically the intention is, when I pass this current in some resistor, the amount of heat that is generated will be exactly equal to the same amount of heat that was generated by IDC when passed through a same resistor for a certain time duration. This way, I can quantify, or I can have comparison between IDC and IAC, or for that matter, DC and AC. So ನನಗೆ DC ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಇಷ್ಟ ಐತಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದಾಗ ಅದ್ರ ಈಕ್ವಲೆಂಟ್ AC ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಎಷ್ಟೈತಿ ಅನ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ನನಗೊಂದು ಮೆಜರ್ ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ. ಅದನ್ನು ಮೆಜರ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ನನಗೆ ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿಸ್ ರೂಟ್ ಮೀನ್ ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಟರ್ಮ್. So basically, root mean square term will help me in having the comparison between the DC and the AC values. So that is the reason why I take this root mean square term. Now, once we are done with understanding what exactly is the root mean square term, now let us try to calculate IRMS for my half wave rectifier. So IRMS is given by under root of 1 upon 2 pi 0 to 2 pi IL square d omega t. So this is what is my equation for my IRMS value for the half wave rectifier given by this particular term. I'll take the root, I'll take the square, and I'll take the mean. Have I done that or not? Let me check here. I have taken the square of my load current, and I have taken the square root of that entire term, and I'm doing the mean, or I'm taking the average. From which time to which time duration? From 0th time duration to 2 pi duration. And what will be the value in that particular time duration? It will be 2 pi. So this is what will be the content of my IRMS equation. So once I take this equation, now let's try to solve this equation and try to figure out at last what will be my IRMS value will be equal to like the way how I did for IDC. IRMS ಎಷ್ಟು ಬರ್ತೈತಿ, what will be the actual content? Let's try to do that. Okay, let's try to simplify this. Now, what is IL? I know it as Im sine omega t. So let's try to simplify and substitute that. Under root of 0 to 2 pi Im sine omega t whole square d omega t. Because this is entirely IL, so I am squaring that particular term. So 1 upon 2 pi under root of 0 to 2 pi Im square sine square omega t d omega t This is what my equation now has resulted. So let me just rub this entire space and utilize this for my derivation as well. Okay, now let's try to apply the formula of sine square theta. If I can remember, sine square theta is somewhere 1 minus cos theta, right? So this could be used over here. So that gives under root of 1 upon 2 pi 0 to 2 pi, or I'll keep this im square outside because im square is anyhow constant, so that only mathematical terms are inside. So im square is outside, whole divided by 2 pi. So sine square theta, I can replace it with 1 minus cos 2 theta by 2. Now here in the place of theta, I am using omega. So can I write this way? 1 minus cos 2 omega t upon 2. And even since this 2 is constant, I'll take it out. So that will make im square by 4 under root 0 to 2 pi 1 minus cos 2 omega t d omega t. Of course, that will be there. So this is what is I'm getting now. So now let's try to apply the integration. Now before applying the integration, that is within the limits of 0 to 2 pi, like I was discussing yesterday, I shall rub this. So the half wave rectifier is only active, or it is going to be producing the outcome only in the region from 0 to pi, and in the region pi to 2 pi, my output will be 0. Hence, we need not consider the limits from pi to 2 pi. Now, because the limits are from 0 to 2 pi, I'll have to do the same thing that what I have done for my IDC. I'll break the limits from 0 to pi and pi to 2 pi. In that way, the equation now would reduce to im square by 4, 0 to pi, 1 minus cos 2 omega t d omega t. This is 1 plus pi to 2 pi 1 minus cos 2 omega t. This is my another half. Now, because I know from pi to 2 pi, the entire integration is going to be 0, because from pi to 2 pi, I don't have any currents to flow in my half rectifier. Hence, I'm not going to consider this entire derivation or this entire section. So now my resulting equation will be im square by 4. That will be under root. So 1 would be now omega t minus, can I write the integration of cos 2 theta as sine 2 theta by 2? It can be written sine 2, sine 2 omega t by 2 in the limits from 0 to pi, because this has been reduced to 0. Let me just rub this once again. So again, this will be im square by 4. I need to be substituting the limits now. I have done the integration. So omega t will be from pi to 2 pi. So upper limit minus lower limits minus sine of 2 pi minus sine of 0 whole divided by 2, or that is 1 by 2 divided by 2. This is what is the limiting I have applied. Now sine of 2 pi is 0, sine of 0 is 0. So anyhow, this will be going to cancel out. So what is left out? Only pi minus 0. So basically, I have now IRMS is equal to under root of im square by 4 multiplied by pi. Yeah, it would be for pi, I guess, because it is 1 by 2 pi, right? So I forgot that pi term, because in the beginning of what I took it as 1 upon 2 pi. So that pi I have forgotten. So it is pi. So now im square by 4 pi multiplied by pi. So final simplification, pi cancels out and im square by 4. So this would be IRMS will be equal to im upon 2. So this is my RMS value of load current, that is IRMS equal to Im by 2 for my half wave rectifier circuit. So this is the value for my half wave rectifier. So basically I can say that the average content that is present after rectification, or the RMS value that is contained after the rectification process in the half wave rectifier, is maximum current by 2 in the half wave rectifier. So this is my derivation with respect to IRMS. I hope this is clear. Now quickly jump into the RMS value for the load voltage. Just like the load current, we are going to consider the load voltage. Because now I know the load current, calculating the load voltage is not that difficult, because I need to be applying some Ohm's law concept over here, and then I can calculate VRMS. So basically VRMS, can I write it as IRMS into RL, Ohm's law? V is equal to IR. So whatever is a subscript, I'm going to take the same subscript. And because there is only one resistor that is being utilized in my entire half wave rectifier circuit, that is RL. So RL won't be changing. Now just quote the value of IRMS, whatever you have obtained now. So from equation number 1, which we derived just now, I can write IRMS equal to Im by 2 multiplied by RL. And again, what is Im into RL? Im into RL is what? Vm. So 2 is going to remain as it is. Im into RL is Vm. So this way, I can say that VRMS is also equal to Vm by 2. And that was my known thing that I was supposed to get. IRMS Im by 2 ಬರ್ತಂತಂದ್ರೆ VRMS nu Vm by 2 ಬರಲೇಬೇಕು, but I just proved it. So voltage derivation is quite simple. So from examination point of view, you can expect these derivations. They may ask even until VRMS, or they may ask only till IRMS. So this is with respect to your IRMS and VRMS, and that too by considering the ideal diode. Remember, ideal diode andre enu? It doesn't have RF, or basically RF equal to 0. What is RF? RF is the forward resistance of my diode, which I have taken it as 0. And basically, what is the forward resistance of the diode? If I just draw the graph, the resistance that has been offered by the flow of current in the diode, that is dynamic resistance. This I have considered it as 0. Andre the forward resistance illa anta consider ಮಾಡಿ I did this derivation. Now if I consider the practical case, then RF will come into picture. So for practical case, we need to be considering RF or RF. So if I do that, let me try to get the equation out of it. So let me do it for my VRMS. So VRMS is basically IRMS into RL. And what was my IRMS? It is Im by 2 into RL. Like when I did the average load voltage with respect to VDC calculate ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೆ, ನಾನಲ್ಲಿ RL ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಬರಂಗಿಲ್ಲ, it should be along with RL RF term add ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. But that doesn't mean you just add RF over here. ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಷ್ಟೇ RF add ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ರೆ ನನಗೆ RF add ಆಯ್ತು, I considered RF ಹಂಗ ಅನ್ನಕ್ ಬರಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. Your RF is directly connected with the current. ಯಾಕಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಫ್ಲೋ ಆಗ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಏನು ರೆಸಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಫರ್ ಮಾಡತೈತಿ ಆ ರೆಸಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ನಾನು ಫಾರ್ವರ್ಡ್ ರೆಸಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತೀನಿ. ಅಂಡ್ ಐ ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಬಿ ರೈಟಿಂಗ್ RF as a separate entity over here. ಅಂದ್ರೇನು, ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ RF I am writing, it should be linked with my Im, that is maximum current that is flowing in your diode. How do I link that? Let's do that. So can I write Im? We know that Im equal to Vm by RL. That is the current flowing through the load resistance producing the maximum voltage Vm. I can write this equation. Illi nanu in the place of RL I will be writing RF. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಡಯೋಡ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಈ ಕರೆಂಟ್ Im ಫ್ಲೋ ಆಗಬೇಕಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ it has to pass through RF and it has to pass through RL. So until and unless it passes through RF and RL, I won't be able to get the voltage Vm. Hence, when I write the equation for Im, there only you are supposed to add the RF, not somewhere else. Please remember this properly, because otherwise it will lead to a lot of confusion. RF on the term aiti, let me add it somewhere else. Just one RF addition ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂತ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಅದು ನನಗೆ RF ಅಂತ ಆಗಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. That won't be considered as a practical scenario. The practical scenario is only considered when you consider RF when current Im is flowing. So Im equation ನಾನು ಏನು ಬರ್ತೀನಿ normally Ohm's law V by R or Vm by RL. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ RL ಜಾಗದಾಗ I need to be adding this R. So now can I write my Im equation as Vm by RF plus RL? So if I write this, let me call this as equation number 1 and this as equation number 2. Now just substitute 2 in 1. If I do that, Vrms will be equal to Im jagadag ಏನು ಬಂತಿಲ್ಲ entire thing Vm divided by RF plus RL whole divided by 2 into RL. And if I do this entire calculation, what is that I'm going to get? Vrms will be equal to Vm by 2 into 1 upon 1 plus RF by RL. So this is the final value that I'm going to obtain. So basically, if I solve this entire equation once again, you are going to get back the upper equation. Now let's solve matter. If I do that solving, RL will go up. So Vm into RL in the denominator it will be 1 plus, that is RF plus RL, that will be there, and divided by 2 term is also there. So this is my Vrms considering the practical scenario. So practical scenario is an ideal scenario hang convert ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. Just ideal scenario ನಾನು ಏನಿರ್ತೀನಿ RF 0 ಇರ್ತೈತಿ. If I just substitute RF equal to 0, it should get back to the ideal scenario. So RF ನಾನು 0 ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ this will be 1 upon 1 plus 0. So basically it will be 1 upon 1, or basically it will be 1. So this entire term will be 1. So what is that is remaining? Vm by 2. So as per my earlier derivation, Vrms was equal to Vm by 2. So it is going to retain its original value in terms of its ideal condition. So this is basically the derivation that I was supposed to explain with respect to IRMS. Now the reason for going very slow, especially with respect to these derivations, are to ensure that once we come to the full wave rectifier, we are not going to do this much explanation when we try to do the derivation. We'll just say these so and so things, and then we'll move on with the subsequent stages. So this is with respect to IRMS and VRMS. So I hope these concepts are clear. Now let me just go through 2 more derivations, or basically small 3 more derivations. So let me calculate power. So basically DC output power, PDC. Of course, since half wave rectifier is converting AC to DC, whatever DC I am getting, it is output, and hence I am calling it as DC output power, which is represented by the term PDC. Now quite simple, I have the formula for PDC as power is equal to I square into R. So I can write I square DC into RL, and you know what is the value of IDC? IDC was Im by pi whole squared times RL. And if I just try to simplify it further, it will be Im square by pi square into RL. And maybe I can represent Im in terms of Vm. How do I represent Im in terms of Vm? So Im, so we know that Im is equal to Vm by RL. Therefore PDC is equal to Vm square by RL square into pi square into RL. ಹೌದಾ? So I am ಜಾಗದಾಗ Vm by RL ಆಗ್ತೀನಿ. So ಇದ್ರದ್ದು ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, pi square ನನಗೆ ಉಳಿಯುತ್ತೆ. This RL will be there. So one RL and one RL goes out. So what is that is left out for PDC? It is Vm square by pi square into 1 upon RL, or Vm by pi whole square into 1 upon RL. So this is my power output or output power for my half wave rectifier. So this is all about the PDC. And now if somebody asks you what about input power? Now input power is an AC power, and that will be, you can say it as AC input power. So since output is DC, we call it as a DC output power, and input is AC, we call it as AC input power. So that is the case, then I'll be writing AC input power, and in that scenario, because AC is no more represented as AC, it is represented in terms of root mean square value. So I consider the derivation of PAC with a value of I square into RL. E I square nanu RMS I square ಅಥವಾ RMS value of the current ತಗೋತೀನಿ. Because just now we just discussed the reason behind considering the value of AC current not as AC but rather as IRMS, because ನಾನು AC average ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ AC content ಎಲ್ಲ 0 ಆಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ, +5 -5 +5 -5. That's the reason whenever I talk about the AC value, IRMS will come, and whenever I talk about DC value, the respective DC value will come. So this is a scenario we have derived the equation for IRMS. IRMS is what? Im by 2 whole square into RL. So this will be your equation. You can keep the same equation as it is, or you can convert it in terms of Vm also. So how do you convert in terms of Vm? This will be Im square into RL upon 4. Maybe 1 Im into RL, you can write it as Vm. So Vm into one more Im will be left, Vm into Im by 4. All those exercises you can do, or better is you can keep the same equation as it is. PAC as Im by 2 whole square multiplied by RL. So this is all about the PAC and PDC for my half wave rectifier. So this is PAC, which is represented in terms of Im by 2 multiplied by L, and PDC in terms of Vm by pi. I can even represent this in terms of Vm by pi, because anyhow when I started with my PDC, what was I took? PDC was what? I square DC into RL, and I square DC, what is the equation for my IDC? It was Im by pi whole square into RL. So any equations are valid. It only depends on a numerical solve ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನನಗೆ ಏನು ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾನೆ ಅದ್ರ ಮ್ಯಾಗ ನಾನು ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾಕಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನನಗೆ Vm ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಕೊಟ್ಟಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ you consider this equation. If he gives the value of Im, you consider the other equation. So based on the different equations, whatever he is going to provide in the numericals, you consider those equations accordingly. But at the end of the day, it is what matters is what is the ultimate equation for my PAC and PDC. Now, once I know the equation for AC power, which is my input power, and DC power, which is my output power, can I calculate the efficiency? That is eta, rectifier efficiency, which is given by PDC upon PAC. And I'll leave this entire exercise to you. PAC is here, PDC is over here. Just substitute the values. PDC is Im square by pi whole square into RL. PAC is Im by 2 whole square multiplied by RL. I hope RL will cancel out, and Im square term will also cancel out, and what is that is left out will be 4 upon pi square. And if you solve that, you are going to get the rectifier efficiency somewhere around 0.406, or in terms of percentage it will be 40.6%. So this is the rectifier efficiency. Idr meaning ಏನಪ್ಪಾ? Rectifier efficiency ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? Rectifier efficiency indicates that ನನ್ನ half wave rectifier ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ only 40% of my AC signal will be converted into DC. That is the meaning of this equation. So if this is a scenario, then definitely the rectifier efficiency of whatever I am getting as 40.6 is very, very, very bad, because some efficiency somewhere around more than 75 or 80 is termed as good. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನನಗೆ less than 50% ಅಷ್ಟೇ convert ಆಗಲಿಕ್ಕೆ. If that is a scenario, then I think this is going to be a very bad rectifier. But since it is a very basic rectifier, what we did over here, understanding all the components with respect to rectifier is made easy when I study the half wave rectifier. So that's about the rectification efficiency. Now if I say the rectifier efficiency is only 40%, then what about the remaining 60%? Or what about the remaining content of my output? ಅದ್ರೊಳಗೆ ಏನು ಇರ್ತೈತಿ? So let me just come out with the last derivation, which is called as the ripple factor, represented by the term gamma, and the ripple factor is given by RMS value of AC component of output to the DC component of output. ನೋಡ್ರಿ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ರೆಕ್ಟಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಎಫಿಷಿಯನ್ಸಿ ಅಂತ ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ ನಾನು ಒಂದು ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ಪವರ್ ತಗೊಂತೀನಿ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಪವರ್ ತಗೊಂತೀನಿ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ನಾನು ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ಅಪಾನ್ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತೀನಿ. ರಿಪಲ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ ನಾನು ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ the thing whatever I am going to calculate, I will be calculating only with respect to the output term only. ಯಾಕೆ ನಾನು ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ವೇವ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಸ್ is something looking like this. It is looking like a ripples. A waveforms ನಮ್ದು ಸಮುದ್ರೊಳಗೆ ತೆರಿ ಬಂದಂಗ, it is looking like a ripple. So ನನ್ನ ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ವೋಲ್ಟೇಜ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ how much is the ripples or how much are the ripples that are coming, ಈ ಟರ್ಮ್ ನ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ I go ahead with the ripple factor. And the ripple factor, the statement itself says RMS value of AC component, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು AC component ಐತಿ output ನಾಗ to the ಎಷ್ಟು DC component ಐತಿ output ನಾಗ, ಅದರದ ನಾನು equation ನಾನು if I get it, then my entire result will be my ripple factor. So here I can write IAC upon IDC. So what exactly IAC? Now I don't know what is IAC, because we normally do not talk in terms of AC current. We always talk in terms of RMS current. But as per my standard derivation of the equation, I square RMS is nothing but the combination of AC current and the DC current, the square of this. So
You are not audible.
Hello. Yes, did somebody told something? Am I not audible?
Audible.
Audible, sir.
Audible, sir.
Okay, let me finish up this another 2 minutes. So IRMS is given by the combination of I square AC and I square DC. So if this is the scenario, what will be my IRMS content alone? Square root of I square AC plus I square DC. So this is my IRMS. So if this is my IRMS, or let me take, since my ripple factor equation is what IAC by IDC, okay, let me consider IAC value then. So what is IAC square then? I square RMS minus I square DC, and in that scenario IAC is square root of I square RMS minus I square DC. So this is my IAC, and I know what is IDC. IDC also has got some value, but now I am doing the equation by representing the current in terms of DC and RMS. Now other than that, IDC is equal to no Im by pi, Im by 2 adnala ತಗೊಳಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. I'll keep the values as it is. So according to this equation number 1, so 1 implies IAC is as I square RMS minus I square AC, square root of that, and IDC I'm going to keep it as it is. Now if I do this simplification, so let me square it and take it under the root, so that will be So that will fetch me a value of I square RMS minus I square AC whole divided by I square DC. Everything I take it under root. And if I do the simplification, I square RMS upon I square DC minus I square DC upon I square DC under root. So this will cancel out. So now what is left out? Under root of I square RMS upon I square DC. And now let us substitute the value of I square RMS. What was the I square RMS value that I obtained for my half wave rectifier? Im by 2. And what was my I square IDC that I obtained for half wave rectifier? Im by 5. So substitute that and do the square root and squaring term. Im cancel agata. So this will be again pi square by 2 is minus 1 term that I forgot. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ 1 ಅಂತ ಬಂದಿರ್ತದಲ್ಲ I square DC cancel ಆಗಿ 1 ಉಳಿದಿರುತ್ತೆ. So this entire term minus 1. If I do this entire calculation, I am going to get a value of gamma as 1.21, or in terms of percentage it is 121%. Intention of this derivation is stay. It says that when you do the derivation, or when you consider the half wave rectifier, and do the conversion from AC to DC, AC to DC convert ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ efficiency ಬರೀ 40% ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅದ. ಇನ್ನು ಉಳಿದಿದ್ದು ಏನದ ನನಗೆ ಓನ್ಲಿ ರಿಪಲ್ ಕಂಟೆಂಟ್ ಅದ. ಎಷ್ಟರ ಮಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ರಿಪಲ್ ಕಂಟೆಂಟ್ ಐತಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ 121% of my entire signal is made up of ripples. So that is the basic intention of doing this derivation. So this way I would say that we have done the entire derivation sets for my half wave rectifier. So with this, we'll wind up this today's session. The way how we have done the derivation for my half wave rectifier, on the same line, we'll be doing the derivation for the full wave rectifiers also in my next class. So before you come and attend the next class, try to ensure you are thorough with some concepts about integration, the way how we have done over here. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ನನಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ 0 to pi ಮಟ್ಟ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಇಂಟಿಗ್ರೇಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತಿತ್ತು. ಫುಲ್ ವೇವ್ ರೆಕ್ಟಿಫೈರ್ ಬಂದಾಗ ಎಂಟೈರ್ ಫುಲ್ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ವೇವ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ರೆಕ್ಟಿಫೈಡ್. ಅವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ನನಗೆ ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಫ್ರಮ್ 0 to 2 pi ರಾದರ್ ದನ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ 0 to pi. ಅವಾಗ ನನಗೆ ಇಂಟಿಗ್ರೇಷನ್ ಲಿಮಿಟ್ಸ್ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾನು ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಮಾಡೋ ನೆಸರಿ ಇರಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಎಂಟೈರ್ಲಿ ಫ್ರಮ್ 0 to 2 pi ನೇ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಅಥವಾ ನಾನು ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ನನಗೆ pi to 2 pi ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ 0 ಅಂತ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾನು ಅದರದ್ದು ಇಂಟಿಗ್ರೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. So in order to ensure you remember some of these concepts, try to ensure you are good enough in the integration of your some of the equations. So with this, I conclude today's lecture, and you can meet up in the next class. So thank you for your patience listening. Just a moment, I'll just float the attendance link. You can just, okay, that's not an issue. We'll do one thing. I'll anyhow download the attendance link here only. We'll not do that exercise of Google form that is creating some issues. So let's not to do that again and again. So attendance I have downloaded over here. We'll stop the lecture over here, and we can conclude this lecture, and we'll continue in the next lecture. Thank you for patience listening.
Thank you, sir.